alumni network is supremely important because universities, educational programs, and corporations now recognize that sustained connection with former students or staff can increase an organization's profile, build brand recognition and value, even extend the reach and impact of key messaging and translate these into tangible business outcomes. As we know, that even governments also recognize that there are merits or benefits in retaining stronger connection, particularly with those whom they have invested funds in. So there are key steps or some ways in which we can increase our engagement and support to our alumni. The first step is that we have to know our alumni. So what we do is we use survey, we conduct survey, research, and even passive data collection to understand the demography of our alumni. For instance, their age, their profession, their location, their experience, their educational background, etc. Gathering this type of information is important in determining how best to engage our alumni, and it is also critical in segmenting and targeting users to create more value for alumni or members and our program. The next steps, second way is we create and share good content, good quality content, because it is important to keep our alumni engaged. We also always try and share fresh, interesting, relevant, and exciting content. It can also be one of the most time-consuming aspects of managing marketing, our alumni network. But we ensure that we have a sufficient resource to do so. The next way is that we try to drive engagement through benefits. As we know that most organizations thinking about alumni programs focus on return of investment or the benefit it can provide to the organization. While it's vital and certainly a core reason why companies or organizations launch alumni activities, the best programs are the programs that balance the value proposition to the organizations with the value to its alumni. So the value propositions keeps alumni coming back to the community from time to time again. As we enhance the benefits, we'll see a direct impact on alumni participation, engagement, and ultimately, our return of investment. The next step is, we hold both online and offline events. So these can take the form of a simple happy hour, panel discussion, or speaker around professional or personal interest. And we could also empower alumni to create and host their own events, whether those are funded by the alumni themselves or third party. So in the online arena, we can increasingly see the organization offer compelling webcast for their alumni community. Or in today's context, we've seen a lot of alumni doing Zoom webinars. So these provide opportunities for continuing professional development, access to industry research and news, executive interviews, and so much more. The next step, which is also very important, is that we deliver relevant communication at a regular basis, and try to leverage use of technology to help drive engagement. Relevant email communication at regular basis is key to creating ongoing member engagement. And we need to establish a schedule that our alumni can count on. If you are, for instance, communicating too often or your content is not relevant, you will see that reflected quickly in click-through rates and unsubscribes. So here are some examples of and how you can enhance your alumni messaging strategy. The first one is through email testing and optimization. As we know that in the digital marketing realm, there is so much we can do to test, measure, and optimize the email campaigns that we send to our members. The second example is, always target and segment your user base, and then develop a strategic communication calendar. You can use, the existing software to do that. And don't forget to use multi-channel engagement. Leverage on the various social media platforms that we have and are used by our alumni. The last step is focus on metrics and measurement. This is one of the things that many people almost forgotten or forget in monitoring and measuring the success of their engagement. And I think it's generally understood that engagement will help an organization get the attention of the alumni. Specific definitions and measurements are often overlooked. By creating metrics or measurements, I'm talking about simple metrics. They don't have to be overly complex, because we found that focusing on 3 or 4 key measurements, at least initially, proves to be more than enough, and it's proven to be effective. Well, as we know, that a big factor in maximizing the value of an alumni program is integrating the program into the fabric of the organization or the institutions, like from creating a culture that values alumni and a lifelong relationship with the organization. So, in a highly competitive environment with many competing priorities, fostering awareness and adoption of an alumni program can be a challenge. So one of the ways to increase buy-in from the organizations or from the institution is to create an alumni engagement strategy which objectives and metrics align with the goals and the objectives of the organization. From the alumni perspectives, alumni can create value to the organization by, for instance, investing their time to mentor students or junior alumni, to offer career guidance and opportunities, for instance, but also they can act as ambassadors for the institution or organization. They can volunteer or offer expertise. They can join philanthropic activities run by the organization or alumni themselves. They also promote, attend, and actively participate in our events. from the organization's perspective, they can offer alumni, the opportunity for professional development, for instance, facilitate meaningful connections with alumni through networking events. The organization can also provide relevant and consistent information tailored to the needs of alumni. But also they can mobilize the use of knowledge and skills of alumni for their community and personal development. A good alumni association is an association that is able to offer value-creating engagement to its members. In this case, is alumni. So value creation occurs when alumni really offer their time or expertise to assist or cause. So there is often an overwhelming focus of alumni network on passive and transactional engagement. This is part due to the fact that these are easier to implement and to measure. Examples of passive engagement are, the number of records held, or alumni who sign up to a database or update details, etc. And transactional engagement examples include like attendances at events, access to alumni benefits or reading of communication, etc. So, in other words, a good alumni association is an association that offers values to the members beyond passive and transactional engagement. I think in principle, what we need is, being able to articulate the goal of the strategy. And then the next step is we need to define alumni. What's the definition of alumni? That needs to be clarified. And then we need to map our alumni and segment alumni based on our objectives and devise engagement tools that we're going to use. And the last one is that we need to create metrics to measure success. However, this might not be easy in some cases because we face some challenges in so many areas when we do our alumni engagement activities. The first one, some challenges include maintaining accurate contact information, because data is key to the success of alumni program, because it allows you to segment, target, and engage users, in this case, our alumni, for so many different purposes, for instance, like talent acquisitions, efforts, business development, and much more. So we need to, streamline the capture and maintenance of members of alumni data over time. And that often requires a lot of time and resources. The next challenge is, how to produce compelling content and events at scale. Creating great content and planning, meaningful events at scale can be tricky, especially if you have limited resources. So we need to be creative. We need to, find creative ways to increase the quality content and events that we produce to support the engagement efforts. The next challenge is to do with capturing alumni time and attention. So an increasing digital and mobile world, which offers a multitude of information channels, competing for an individual's mind share, we often struggle to capture the time and attention of their target alumni. And again, this is a tricky part, but if we know the audience very well, if we know the alumni very well, and we know the kind of information that they want to hear, that they want to read, then this challenge can be minimized.